What's up? Miss you guys.
So what are you going to play this week?
That's the plan. We'll see.
What will go into your decision? Is it your decision?
Just making sure I can be me.
Is it strictly your call, or is it the whole organization? What will go into the whole final decision to see if you play?
I think I'll tell Sean if I'm ready, and he'll believe me.
You said making sure you're you. Do you feel like you?
Yeah, I do. But man, I got to get into practice and get some live reps. I need some competition.
Drew, have doctors already let you know you're past the risk of re-injury stage? Or?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's it's not fully healed, I think, until 3 months, and so that internal brace obviously provides some stability and support, as does the splint, and so I think it's just that balance of do I need both? Can I get away without the splint? So those decisions will be made as we go along here.
How's taking a snap right now?
Fine.
So
Fine.
that was what I thought was going to be the hardest thing.
Yeah, just that impact, but no. Taking a snap was actually easier than expected, or I was able to do that easily before I could feel really comfortable throwing.
Is there any pain tolerance issues you have to deal with in this?
No, not at this point. It's really just strength and stability.
How have you adjusted to throwing with the brace on?
I just try not to think about it. Obviously having something on your thumb that's taped onto your thumb is, at first it's not the most comfortable thing or normal feeling thing, but just have to make it the norm, right?
Are you able to grip the ball comfortably?
Yeah.
What is something that would prevent you then from playing? I mean, would it be like...
Well, like if I felt like, hey, the ball's not coming out the way it needs to, right? Not as comfortable, not as confident, not as accurate. Those things would be a factor.
Did you throw much today? You don't normally on Wednesdays, right?
Yeah, I did throw today, yeah.
And so far, so good?
It's fine, yeah.
What have the last several weeks been like for you as you're just trying to get back to where you were before?
It's been difficult. Anytime you get injured, because you feel like you're working so hard just to get back to baseline, right? Just to get back to where you were before. But I always look for a silver lining, right? And I think you do gain perspective, especially maybe from the quarterback position, seeing it from a different angle, right? Preparing to start a game, you're so locked in and you've got your routine, and especially game day, you're so focused on. I mean, listen, I don't ever see our defense hardly, during the course of a game, because when our drive is done, I come to the sideline, I pick up the tablet, and I'm sitting there just looking at plays, looking at thinking about the next series, and glancing up at the jumbotron every now and then to watch, but and special teams too, for that matter. So standing on the sideline, you really get to see it all from a different perspective, and just a lot of the interactions and just a lot of things that are taking place that I don't know, it just makes you appreciate being a part of this team, and what we have in regards to just the type of guys and the level of communication, and we got a great team. Guys love to work hard. Guys love to play for one another, and just makes you want to win for the guy next to you. And so I've been trying to get back as quickly as I can. I understand that this takes time as far as the healing process and that kind of thing, and been living in the training room for the last 4 weeks, unfortunately. But just to be back at practice, getting back into the swing of things has been really good.
What was that first day of practice like? You didn't do what you wanted to do, but you were there with your teammates.
Was that you talking about today?
No, the first day that you were back.
Yeah. I mean, again, just I'm used to hearing the play call and being the guy that's stepping in the huddle, and so to sit back and just to kind of watch that taking place, from afar is different. But you still just try to play the game. Play the game. It'd be just like being in training camp. When you step off and the next group kind of jumps in, and you're watching the defense. You're kind of going through the mechanics of what you would do and how you would be thinking and your progression, and so that's how you stay on point. That's how you stay. Keep that edge, is just playing the game in your mind, even though maybe you're not actually taking the rep.
What did you miss most, Drew?
What's that?
What did you miss most?
Just being able to compete with the guys.
What do you think of the job Teddy's done?
I think he's done a phenomenal job. I think he's done a great job. I've watched our team get better and better, and I think that's been the most gratifying thing for me, just being a part of this team, is just knowing that the sky is the limit, and we continue to get better and better in all phases, right? I've seen our defense step up and become one of the best defenses in the league, and watch our special teams do some of the things that they've done, both in the return game and I think in the protection game. And so, just watching that all come together, and then offensively, a lot of guys involved, finding a lot of ways to win. That's been great as well. Just watching everyone grow, watching everyone come together.
Drew, along
Did you
those
find
lines,
yourself
is this stretch been one of Sean Payton's best coaching jobs, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Sean always does a great job. I think one of his great strengths is taking the talents and the abilities of what he has and maximizing those, right? Putting everybody in the best position to succeed. And he does that time and time again. But as you've seen different guys go out with injury, and other guys step up, and having to shift the lineup around a little bit and do different things. He continues to, him and the whole staff for that matter. I mean, listen, we've got excellent assistant coaches, and so all of them together as a group work extremely hard to put us all in the best position to succeed on Sunday.
Did you find yourself doing some coaching?
Of course. My role didn't change other than the fact that I had to spend some more time in the training room. And I couldn't actually be the one, calling the play and throwing the ball, right? But beyond that, it was making observations like I normally would, trying to give coaching points. Even at times trying to relay, hey, I understand what it's like as a quarterback. A play happens and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I need to tell this guy something and this guy, and so I could see Teddy, do something and kind of have that look like, I want to talk to you and you. I'd be like, hey, I got him because I know what you want to tell him, and you take him, and we'll tag team it, right? And so that's just guys working together. That's just QBs knowing the deal.
You mentioned your perspective from the sideline. Obviously, you wish the circumstances were different. Are you grateful for that perspective and being able to see how enlightening it can be?
I am grateful for that. I feel like there's always something to learn. And certainly perspective can, I think, make you more grateful. It can, I don't know. Perspective is the word, right? The perspective is what allows you to maybe see it from a different angle, in a different way, give you a different level of appreciation or gratitude, and maybe enlighten you to a slightly different approach, or maybe something that you haven't tried before, you've wanted to, and so yeah, there was quite a few things over the last 4 weeks, call it, that I've had a chance to see and had a chance to do that I feel like are going to make me a better player.
When did you realize you and Teddy kind of had that, spoke the same language of quarterbacking?
I think pretty quick, yeah. I think that's something that, I don't know, that's a QB thing, right? We got it with Taysom too. I think we've got an unbelievable quarterback room. Man, we have a lot of fun together. But man, we all take our job very seriously, right? And we're all there to help one another. We're all there to try to get the best out of one another. And so, whoever, regardless of who the guy in the huddle is, right? Man, we're all there to support that guy the best way we can.
You talked about the benchmarks along the way to when you first got the cast off. Can you kind of take us through, what were the things you were trying to get to along this rehab?
Yeah. Okay. So I think first thing was range of motion, right? Trying to just get back to all those. The interesting thing about playing quarterback, I wish that ball is having to, like, if you grip a baseball, right, you're here, right? Even you grip a basketball, you're just kind of dribbling. Maybe you're going to palm it every now and then, but to shoot, it's really on your fingertips. Football is the one where you really have to extend your thumb all the way around into a pretty large angle. I mean, look at the spread between pinky and thumb. That's hard to do, and then to provide the type of pressure that's needed with that thumb to then transfer all that energy that you bring from ground force and torque with your body to translate that energy into the ball, right? And so that's that was probably the hardest part, was just getting it to where I could grip the ball again and grip it with authority, grip it with strength, and then be able to, guide the ball, maneuver the ball out of my hand.
When did that come roughly in the process?
I mean, listen, you start with getting the range of motion, and then it's, okay, well, I can't grip an NFL ball yet, but I can grip a Nerf ball. So I was rating my kids, seriously, like my kids' baskets of balls, and just like I would take different sizes and we weighed them all, different weights, and just gradually go from, smaller to larger to heavier, and all the way up to an NFL ball. And even though I couldn't throw an NFL ball, I was still able to train to throw a ball. So a lot of times you say, well, how can you train to throw a ball without throwing a ball? We have ways to train to throw a ball without throwing a ball. So I just did all those things, which are things I do in the off season. I typically won't throw a ball for a while in the off season, but it doesn't mean I'm not training to throw. I'm always training to throw.
So how long have you been throwing an NFL ball?
Probably 2 weeks. It varies degrees. You kind of start shorter and then go intermediate, and volume kicks up and intensity kicks up.
Do you feel like you're 100% now? I mean, or is that fair to say, throwing a ball?
We're getting there.
Drew,
when was the last time-
impressed and probably not surprised were you that Michael Thomas's production didn't seem to miss a beat, and Teddy leaned on him quite a bit.
Yeah, well, if he's open, then throw it to the big man, So Teddy did a good job of that, and obviously Mike keeps doing a good job of getting open, being in the right place, and obviously he's Mr. Dependable.
And do you think Patrick Peterson offers as much of a challenge
Absolutely.
to getting the ball to a receiver as anyone you've faced?
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of the best corners in the league, has been for a long time. One of those guys that, week in and week out, it's like, all right, who's he starring, and obviously if that's the case this week, we know who that'll be. So, we'll play it as it comes.
And Drew, because you can grip it like that, you're not going to need to wear a glove or anything like that, are you?
No, I won't wear a glove.
Drew, when was the last time you missed this amount of time from football?
Never. I'd missed one game in my career before this, and that was back in 15 with kind of that freak shoulder deal. But so yeah, 26 years of football, and I missed one game. So that was uncharted territory for me. I didn't can't say I necessarily enjoyed it when it happened, but as we've discussed, there's perspective that comes along with that, and silver lining, and find a way to be better as a result of it.
How encouraging has it been to just see your team respond and not miss a beat since you were
Yeah, it's
out?
been awesome. It's been awesome. I love this team. I love that in the face of really any adversity, which I mean, whether it's me or whether it's any other guy going down, right? It requires other guys to step up, right, and pick up the slack or kind of fill the void or whatever it might be, and I feel like we've had to do that over the last couple of years. I mean, really, throughout my entire career, you have those years where, man, either you can do it or you can't, right? And this team, I think, has proven that guys are ready to step up, guys are ready to rally, and it's brought the best out of this team, which you couldn't ask for anything more.